Hello, beautiful kindred souls, and welcome to my spiritual oasis. Here, weary souls come to find inner wisdom and peace. Today, we are doing a pick a card reading connected to full moon energy. The messages are meant to be inwardly focused on maybe some of the shadow spaces in our emotional world. Really just leaving it up to spirit to guide the messages today. I have 3 groups prepared. Before we get into the groups, I want to invite you to join the Kindred family by subscribing to my YouTube channel. Click like on the video if something resonates. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what group you selected. If you're interested in your own personal reading, you can connect with me on Etsy. Link is in the description, as well as the timestamps for each of the groups. And the groups are as follows. So we have group 1 being guided by our Black Moon Astrology deck. Group 2 is guided by our Moonology deck. Group 3 is guided by our Queen of the Moon deck. So pause the video at this time if you need a moment to determine which group has your message in it, keeping in mind that these are general readings, so just take what resonates with you. If you're being drawn to more than one group, your message could be a combination of the group's messages. So feel free to watch as many as you need to. So again, pause the video, otherwise we'll get right into the readings. Hello Group 1 and welcome to your reading. Again, we're asking Spirit for full moon, divine feminine, inwardly strong, emotionally charged messages for you today. Anything that you need to hear. Might be some deep, dark things coming out, but it also might be just some uplifting things that you need to hear right now. So let's get into it. And again, we're being guided by our Black Moon Astrology cards. Butterfingers. So this one flipped over 12th house of escape. The 12th house is one of those houses. It's one of the spiritual houses or the unseen houses. It's the last house in the birth chart as well, so it holds a lot of our secrets, a lot of energy that doesn't get to be expressed in our awaking worlds. There's a lot of mystery associated with the 12th house, as well as things just that we can't see. Things that are outside of our purview, which does require us to tap into our spiritual energy and lean in on our spiritual energy more. I will say here that I feel like there's a little bit of a message or warning, however you want to take it, but this idea of escapism, this feels like the devil card in tarot, where the devil really just represents our shadow energy, those vices that we tend to use to escape from reality when maybe things aren't necessarily going our way. And the message that I am receiving for you today is that escapism it's temporary. It's not a permanent relief or release of any energy. It just prolongs the inevitable. And the inevitable is that you will have to face whatever it is. And I am getting the message that for some of you, there might be something on the horizon, something dark, some sort of either change or just acknowledging something that you don't want to acknowledge. And there's mystery there even to me. My sight isn't completely clear or able to see exactly what this is, and it could vary, of course, because this is a general reading, but I do feel like there's something there that you're avoiding, and you might be using other tactics, potentially substances, or even just procrastination and avoidance to not have to deal with it. But the message I am receiving is that you will have to deal with it eventually, and you won't be able to run from it forever. So facing it head on is actually the best way to get it out of your way, to get it behind you. So be mindful of that. I love that we have the water element present because I was feeling Pisces energy for some reason. So Pisces is connected to the 12th house. Pisces energy, in many ways, it's very emotive, very clairvoyant. Our Pisces have a lot of empathy and empathetic energy naturally associated with them because they are that 12th house connection. They have that, like, they understand all of the other astrological energies in the birth chart, so therefore are able to empathize with others, and it makes them a very soft energy. And it can also, if you have strong Pisces placements in your chart, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or you have strong 12th house, either like planetary energy in there or aspects to your 12th house, this could affect you a lot. This idea of escapism, or this idea of being overwhelmed by other people's energy, different things like that. So I do feel like there is a message around strengthening the element of water in your life. So water energy is spirituality, it's love, it's creativity, it's sensitivity and emotional intelligence. And sometimes we associate emotional energy with weakness, and it's not something that's celebrated, at least not in the Western culture that I live in, as much as, like, say, divine masculine energy, fiery energy, or air energy, that outwardly expressive divine masculine energy. But I do feel like some of you are very intuitive, and I'm getting, like, Pisces keeps coming back to me. Pisces placements in your chart, you're very sensitive to spiritual shifts and changes. You might be clairvoyant or clairaudient, or just very connected spiritually. And some of you, I'm getting the message that maybe you fear your gift a bit. You fear that it's almost like you don't know what to do with this gift of emotional capability and capacity, because it's so big, and maybe you haven't been taught or guided on how to have a strong center, but still honor the flow and movement of that emotional energy inside of you. So I am feeling like there does need to be a investigation on how to strengthen and honor that watery energy, that intuition, that spiritual connectivity. And I feel like for some of you, it might be by expressing that energy through creative endeavors, through creative ventures, whatever that means to you, however you express yourself creatively. And I feel like there are going to be a lot of messages coming to you through that, through your dreams, through emotive energy, through, like, sensing, you just being able to sense the truth, you knowing the truth without having any evidence or proof of it. But there's evidence enough in your intuition and in your spirit for you to understand the validity of the messages that will be shared with you. So keep your heart open for that. And I think this is very connected. So we also have the 9th house present here. So we are talking about the 9th house is naturally ruled, or I should say Sagittarius is naturally rules the 9th house. But I am getting this message around faith. So the 9th house does talk about higher learning and spiritual exploration. There's an adventurous energy to it, and a seeking of knowledge, a seeking of energy and guidance and messaging that feels very present here in your message. So I feel like having faith that your gift of emotional intelligence, that your emotional space and knowledge is just as potent, powerful, and important as your mental, prowess, or, your ability to do, your ability to do and act, and, embracing these other elements of energy. I do feel like maybe some of you are teetering in your faith. Maybe feeling overwhelmed and not knowing where faith fits in your life. And the message that I am receiving here is that this is something that you have to discover on your own. No one can tell you what this is to you. This is your journey, and you have to figure out what it means and what place it holds in your heart and in your life. So it's very individual and very personal, and maybe that isn't what you wanted to hear, but that is what I am receiving for you in this reading. So go on a bit of a journey here, a journey that embraces the emotional world, that embraces your sensitivities. I feel like there's also a message. I feel like because I am very watery. I have a lot of water placements in my birth chart. My sun, moon, and rising are in the three water elements, so one of each. So I have a little bit of everything as far as water is concerned in my front guiding energy. And, I've been very emotional as a child and emotionally intelligent, but it wasn't nurtured that way when I was a kid. And so, I didn't understand it until I was an adult that emotional intelligence is powerful. And if you understand it, and if you understand yourself and respect that power, it can actually be a really potent ally for you. So I am encouraging you to dig deeper, to not try to escape it and drown it out, but open your heart to it. Keep your mind open to it. I love that the Page of Cups showed up. I knew a page was going to show up. And I think it's very fitting that it's the Page of Cups. So our pages are naturally earth energy. They are explorative and curious and tangible. They like to touch and to taste and feel and see energy manifest in the physical world. So with our cups, that's that water energy. Okay, so there's a lot of emotional conversations for you today. Group 1, around exploring this world of water energy and what it actually means in your life and what it can mean in your life, especially if you've not been embracing it. Again, it covers spirituality, creativity. It explores love and in all its shapes and forms. And I feel like when you understand yourself better, when you're solid and secure and grounded in who you are as an individual, both as a spiritual individual and a tangible manifestation of a spirit, there's going to be a lot of power that's unlocked for you, and a lot of insight and connectivity that maybe hasn't been present for you in the past. So keep your heart and your mind open. So we have the King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles could represent someone, but I'm really feeling, because these messages are so inwardly focused today, that the King of Pentacles is really an energy that Spirit is asking you to embrace, to pull into yourself. Our King energy is fire, Pentacles is earth. So there's like a tangible representation of what you desire and your actions and the vision that you have for your life. there's a suggestion of earthly stability, and this is also connected to career or job or something of business, that sort of thing. So I feel like there is a message around visioning what you want your life to be like, what you want to see manifest from your effort and your work and your labor. And again, that could be in the form of like a career or job or business or something, but it also could be in the form of something outside of those things, like health and wellness and your physical body, the way you feel physically in this world as well. So I think there are a lot of different messages potentially in the King of Pentacles, but it's really, again, this tangible energy, grounded energy. There's a stability to it, and I feel like you are being asked to ground your energy and ground yourself and create a vessel to hold your watery energy. This reminds me of like a river. So when we think of a river, we often think of the water, right? The water moving through the river. If we really think about it, without the cup of the river, so if we were to cut like a section, say, through a river, there would be earth all along the side. Let me draw this, like along the sides and the bottom of the river, and the water flows through the middle, but it's the earth that holds it, creates a bowl, and it guides the river to wherever the river goes, downhill somewhere. So I do feel like that imagery is very powerful because it suggests that there is a grounding and a solidification that's necessary in order for your emotional energy to thrive. It needs that support. It needs that bowl to hold it and to allow it to gain its power by being guided, I guess. I'm seeing it. It's just difficult for me to explain exactly what I'm seeing, but yeah. And I feel like this is again that personal journey. I feel like there's a strong message around you working on that solar plexus chakra energy, grounding yourself inwardly, an internal support system, and gaining knowledge about who you are as an individual to ground yourself, and having that self-confidence and self-support and self-love and all of those beautiful self things that make us confident in who we are. Because once you are there, once you know who you are and you're confident in that, then that water energy can really thrive, and it's going to create a lot of nurturing and nourishing energy that's going to fruit from it. So I'm imagining right now like the Nile River flowing through a desert. But it isn't just the river itself that is a life. That life spreads out from that center space to a certain distance from that river. And that's what it's going to be like. So once you have that grounding and you've carved out that vision for your life, and that water can flow through it, the lands right around that river are going to start to prosper and grow and be full of life. And so everything that lives within that zone is going to thrive. And then we have death. Okay. I love when the death card shows up, because the death card talks about change. But not just any change. The Tower also talks about change, and other tarot cards talk about change. But the reason why I really love the death card, is that the death card talks about moving from one phase to the next. So you're in a phase of your life right now, and death card is saying it's time to move on. it's time to move to this next phase. And what I do feel like for you, that phase is, again, that vision. Grasping a hold of that vision for your life, carving out your path, that's connected to like finding the path and purpose for your life, that vision of destiny, and that faith. It takes faith to follow that path, for the first drop of water to fall into the trough that's been created for it. That takes faith, because you don't know exactly where you're going, but you'll gain momentum is the message that I'm getting. So embracing the change, allowing the old to fall away, embracing the new. The Death card is also connected to Scorpio energy as well. And we do have a lot of water energy present just in general here. So you could have strong Scorpio placements in your birth chart, but I also feel like, Scorpio is connected to the 8th house, which is another spiritual house in birth chart energy. It's another one of those hidden realms, those realms that we as corporeal beings don't always understand, or easily. And so we have to have faith and tap into that intuitive, emotively strong energy in order to really grasp a hold of the messages there. And that house does talk about releasing. Death is about releasing life and embracing what we call death, but really it's just another phase of existence that we don't necessarily know what it's going to be. And often we're led by fear because, fear of the unknown. But I do feel like there's a strong message around embracing that change, embracing that difference there. And then we have Rose. So Rose is connected to the heart chakra. And there's a strong message connected to love here with Rose being represented. And self-love, I feel like, is very important. Compassion, which we've been talking a lot about with that Pisces energy present. And there's a message around healing your heart. So this could be suggesting, if you have, rose essential oil, or you are feeling called to obtaining some rose essential oil, but using that to help heal your heart space, to expand yourself for love for yourself and the world around you, and spending time showering yourself with love and sharing that with others. But I feel like it definitely does start with you embracing your own need for connection and prosperity and love. And we're going to grab one more essential oil card. Excuse me, I'm just feeling called. Okay, we got a flipper. Myrrh. So myrrh is connected to earth energy, or root chakra energy, and it talks about support. And I feel like this is very much so connected to our King of Pentacles energy and the messages that we've been talking about our riverbeds and all of that sort of thing in our message today. But there's a strong message around support here, and using grace as support, taking comfort in knowing that you are supported, nurturing your inner child and connecting with earth energy, connecting with who you are as a being inside first, and then moving out to those other spaces and places that we dwell in. So again, these are essential oils. If you have myrrh already, feel free to make a blend out of myrrh and use that to help ground you and in your meditations around support, and also figuring out ways to support yourself and getting yourself around people who are going to support you. Making sure that you're connected with places and spaces that are going to nurture your exploration and curiosity of your spiritual and emotional world. And, again, that grounding energy inside of you, yes, but also being around people that are going to provide that that support and love as well for you. So my beautiful souls, these are the messages that I have channeled for you today. I hope this was helpful for you, enlightening, encouraging. If something did resonate, please drop a comment down below and let me know it did. Click like and subscribe to my YouTube channel if we are not already connected here on YouTube. And if you are interested in your own personal reading, you can connect with me on Etsy. Link is in the description bar below. So thanks again for your time and energy, and I will see you in an upcoming reading. Bye. Hello, group number 2, and welcome to your full moon message reading, where we are tapping into our spiritual, emotional, inwardly strong spaces. We're connecting to those divine feminine energies and potentially even looking at some of that dark side of the moon, suppressed energy, looking at what makes us feel supported, stable, and strong in our lives. So you can definitely look at this through the lens of your moon sign if you know what that is. If not, you can find it out by using a calculator online. You selected the Moonology deck here as your guiding energy. So we're going to go ahead and shuffle out our first message for you today. So we have full moon in Gemini. The answers you need are coming. Okay. Gemini energy is very curious, very inquisitive, very mental. And I feel like there's an impatience as well to Gemini energy because, again, they're that quick, fast-moving air energy. And, you know, I'm feeling like there feels like there's a very, like, kind of a paced and relaxed sort of energy right now that I'm feeling from Spirit for you. And that you might have strong air sign placements in your birth chart. So you might feel anxious if things start to slow down. But I am getting the message here that sometimes things need to slow down in order to pick up. The answers that you have been seeking are on their way, but it is going to require some patience on your part in order for everything to get aligned in the way that it is meant to be aligned. So there does feel like there needs to be there's a message around patience. We have the cardinal moon. Be bold and make the first move. So if you are coming with questions surrounding maybe even you're asking about doing something or taking action on something, I'm getting the message maybe around career or even love, maybe for some of you. And there is a message around boldness and moving forward and making the first move and not necessarily just waiting around on the answers. I also feel like there's a message that, I feel like not waiting around on the answers is something that is repeating over and over in my mind. We have the disseminating moon. Take time to breathe out. Again, if you are connected to that, if you resonate with the message around like anxious energy or anxiety, kind of impatience and just that kind of jittery, intense air energy, I feel like there's a message here to focus on your breathing. Incorporate breathing exercises in your spiritual practice. Embrace different breathing techniques and I just feel like there's a strong message around breathing and making sure that you are breathing and you're not allowing anxiety to steal your peace. That's what I'm getting here. And I'm not necessarily talking about like clinical anxiety. If you have clinical anxiety, obviously, seek help or continue to seek help if you are already doing that, and follow the guidance of your medical professional. But I'm just talking about, sometimes in life we just get anxious, especially if we're waiting for something. I'm just getting the message that you're waiting for something, or something's about to happen or maybe happening, and there's just a lot of question marks around whatever this topic is. That's kind of just pulling forth a lot of anxious energy inside of you. And so I am getting the message here that being calm, breathing, being a little bit more paced and taking your time, forcing yourself to do that if it's not natural for you, is actually going to keep you right. It's going to keep you in a place that is sustainable. So we have the Two of Swords, which I feel like is, the Two of Swords is about a couple of things. I feel like peace was the first message that came to me, which I feel like is very much so connected to the other messages we've received here, with this idea of kind of slowing down the intensity. And I feel like it also talks about the answers are living in the unseen. So there's a crescent moon in the corner of this tarot card, which represents that emotional energy, that emotive, emotionally strong energy. And that the fact that the messages that you're looking for, the answers that you're looking for, are actually found on the inside and not on the outside. So if you're waiting for something on the outside to bring you a solution or an answer to something that you've been inquiring about, I am getting the message here. There's a suggestion that is not where the answer resides. The answer resides inside of you. So we have the Five of Pentacles. And in the Five of Pentacles, I see this idea of duress, distress, and some of your mental anxiety and anxiousness could also be manifesting physically in your body. So if that's the case, making sure to take care of your body, to do something physically that calms you, that relaxes you, relaxes your mind, soothes your mind space, and taking care of yourself physically, eating well, sleeping, all of that sort of stuff. We have the Nine of Wands, and I feel like, again, it just feels like there's a lot of work and effort and push, it feels like, that's going on inside of you right now. And it could be that you have recently or are approaching the end of some phase of your life. It could be the end of education or the end of something, and you're kind of waiting for the next phase, but you're kind of living in this jittery in between, and it's causing you some mental stress for you. So I do feel like there's a message around kind of pausing and taking time to rest. It feels like there are a lot of messages around rest for you. So we have the Rabbit, and the Rabbit talks about concerns with sexual matters. So that could be where some of the anxiety or tension is coming from. It could be some sort of connected to a relationship, a romantic relationship of some kind. I'm getting the message that maybe potential pregnancy, or maybe pregnancy scare for some of you, feels very specific. But I feel like in general, there's a strong message around relieving yourself of some of that anxiety. The answers will come, the truth will be revealed, but you, in the process, literally there's a rabbit hopping right outside of my window right now. Interesting. That being anxious about it and stressed about it isn't going to help you. So try to find peace in it. Try to find peace somewhere where you can relieve yourself of the pressure and stress. And then we have a handshake. So there's a suggestion here that meeting with a stranger could be important, that somebody might be coming into your life. I'm getting maybe a job offer, some sort of offer some sort of partnership or connectivity, and that could be what you're waiting on, maybe waiting to hear news or something of that sort. So we have spikenard, which is connected to the heart chakra. There's a strong message connected to faith here. And I feel like a lot of anxiety comes to us when we don't have faith in the process, when we somewhere inside of ourselves don't believe that the universe is working in our favor, that is working for us. And the message here that spikenard is communicating is this idea of being at peace, which we already talked about with the Two of Swords here. So I feel like this is just a reiteration of that message. Taking time to breathe, the Two of Swords, spikenard. It's really, to me, talking about embracing this idea of peace, being at peace from the inside out, calming your heart space and using that warm, loving energy to help soothe your mind, and know that everything will work out as it needs to. Okay? Make sure also to hold a space of gratitude as you watch the miracles of your life unfold. So there's just a really strong message around believing that even the challenging things in our life have a purpose to move us toward our true intent and our true destiny. And then we have invigorating, which is a combination energy of different essential oils in this deck is what it talks about. But the key word here is bliss, which I feel like bliss is connected to peace. And it talks about you making a difference in your life. This is connected to our sacral chakra energy, which is, where like the genitals and the womb live in our bodies. And I feel like the message here is really talking about the fact that, just letting you know that you make a difference, okay? Letting you know that you'll have the motivation that you need to express your light, and know that what you do today makes the world a better place. It makes life richer, and there just feels like there's a connecting energy to, and just a powerful energy and a message about a power about who we are as individuals. And sometimes we underestimate our ability to have a positive impact on the world around us. So I do feel like there is a message around that, and just embracing the ability that you have to influence the world around you, that life doesn't happen to you, that you also infuse life and energy and purpose into your life as well. So my beautiful soul, these are the messages that I have channeled for you today. I hope this was helpful for you. If something resonated, please do drop a comment down below and let me know it did. Click like and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are not already connected here on YouTube. If you're interested in your own personal reading, you can connect with me on Etsy. Thank you so much, beautiful soul, for your time and energy, and I will see you in an upcoming reading. Bye. Hello, Group 3, and welcome to your full moon message here, where we are connecting to our inner space, our inwardly strong divine feminine moon energy messages, looking at those things that make us feel secure, safe, and even some of the hidden things that are inside of that moon energy that we might not always respect or acknowledge. So you chose the Queen of the Moon deck for your message today. So we're going to go ahead and get to shuffling out your initial messages. First message that I am receiving from Spirit is to keep an open mind and keep an open heart. Whoever that's for. Keep an open heart is the message that I keep hearing. So we have the waxing crescent 4. And the message that I am seeing here in the waxing crescent 4 is a message surrounding self-love. It's also the number 6 in this deck, connected to the number 6, which is connected to love, okay? Number 6 is the love energy in numerology. It is love untouched by anything else. There is a deep, passionate desire for and fierceness around protecting those that one loves. And so there's a message here connected strongly to self-love and treating yourself as a precious energy in your life. So if you're the type of person that maybe puts everyone and everything else above yourself, you are always last to eat, physically, figuratively, emotionally, spiritually, there's a strong message about switching that up and putting yourself first, because when your cup is empty, you cannot fill any other cups. So there's a strong message around filling your cup first, making sure that your cup is overflowing so that you can then nurture and nourish others. We have the waxing crescent 1. So there is a message connected to realizations and just understanding the way things work. And I feel like, depending potentially on how we are raised, there are different messages around how we should treat ourselves. And I feel like there's a realization coming to you, or maybe has already come to you, around treating yourself like the precious energy, the precious being that you are. Like, your energy is sacred and deserves to be protected. Creating solid boundaries that you hold to, and holding yourself accountable for treating yourself like the precious, again, energy, precious gem that you are. And we have the worm moon, which is connected to a message around faith. All 3 groups today have messages connected to faith. And what is faith? So faith is the belief in things unseen, believing in things that you cannot see, knowing without knowing from a tangible worldly point of view that something is real, that something is true. And so I feel like there are a lot of messages for you around intuitive energy, around spirituality, and connecting on a level that is above the senses. So brow chakra energy, crown chakra energy, connecting to the creative collective and the creative consciousness. And there are a lot of messages too, like self-love, of course, but then even faith. The imagery in this one feels very Mother earthy, connecting and grounding yourself. Meditation and relaxation are also coming to mind here. Getting massages, especially if there's a lot of stress or strain in your physical body. Spending time or carving out time in your life and in your day to be at peace mentally and connect spiritually to, again, that healing, supportive, replenishing energy, especially if you're a water sign. So we have the moon, how very fitting, in a reading connected to moon energy. Excuse me. But I feel like the moon card here is encouraging you again to go inward. What is inside of you that is being suppressed? What is that divine feminine energy, those messages around your inner world, the things that you need versus the things that you want. There's a message around, again, I feel like this is just reiterating the messages around connecting spiritually, connecting to the creative collective, and following the path that is laid out before you. So if we get a closer image or a closer look at the image here, we have our lobster or crawfish, whatever you want to call it, coming out of the water, and the water is representing that spiritual energy, that creative collective, and coming out and following this path that disappears off into the distance, following your path and purpose and destiny. And the only way to do that is by knowing what that path, purpose, and destiny is. So connecting with yourself on an inward level, an inner world space, and really figuring out what that path looks like, or at least the first steps toward it. And when we're focusing all of our energy on others, it's impossible for us to do the things for ourselves that we need to. So, especially if you're a very nurturing person, I feel like there's a very strong message around putting that, or reducing the energy that you spend on others and increasing the energies that you spend on yourself. I feel like the Emperor is coming in to reiterate that message. Our Emperor energy is very commanding, very dominant, divine masculine, not really expressive energy. Is connected to Aries energy, and Aries are go-getters. They are initiators and pushers, and I feel like there's a message around pushing your purpose, and putting that at the forefront of your energetic expanses. I don't know. I'm getting a strong message that you are very much so invested. You invest energy in a lot of other people. And I feel like there's a strong message around you investing energy in yourself. So we have the Ten of Wands. It's going to take work. It's going to take effort to make this change, especially if you are naturally a nurturer. If it's very natural for you to give and push and carry for others, it's going to be very challenging for you to do that for yourself at first. But you are capable. I do feel like there's a message around laying down the burden, asking for help when you need it, saying no when you need to, setting those boundaries. Again, back to these boundaries, setting strong boundaries with the people, places, and energies and requirements around you to make sure that you are taken care of. You deserve to be taken care of. You deserve to be nurtured. You do not always have to be the nurturer. Sometimes you need to be nurtured. So we have Arbor Vitae. I'm totally destroying the name of this. Arbor Vitae. Arbor Vitae talks about, or is connected to the idea of flow. It is a sacral chakra energy, and oh my gosh, I feel like this is connected to the Ten of Wands here, because it talks about, you know, the triggering statement here is, why are things such a struggle? And the answer to that question, so if you're connecting with that, like, yeah, why are things such a struggle? The answer to that, things are a struggle when you are not in flow. And we're talking about that divine feminine energy, very watery energy, the moon energy here. When you're not in flow, when you're not doing things that are connected to your path and purpose, that are in the direction that your boat is flowing, then it is going to be a struggle. It's going to be difficult. Life doesn't have to be burdensome. It doesn't have to be a burden. Especially when we're in alignment with our path and purpose and destiny, and we're not trying to make things work. We are allowing the universe and the energies inside of us to just flow down the river. The water never tries to go upstream. Fish and other entities might try to go against the current, but the water doesn't. The water just allows gravity to pull it. It allows the riverbed to guide it. And I feel like that message is very strong here for you, especially if you're feeling like things are just hard and tough and everything you seem to try to do is against you in a way. It's because you're not flowing. You're not allowing flow. You're not allowing energy to do what it wants to do and go the direction that it wants to go. Take a breath. Allow yourself to feel the flow of life through you. Release your need to do and just be. Which is almost counterintuitive to the Emperor, but I feel like with anything, any of these messages, it's about the balance of energy. So yes, being assertive and going after the things that you want, setting those strong boundaries, being the visionary of your life is important. That's Emperor energy. But also allowing things to flow and move and go in the way that it wants to and that it's naturally meant to go. I feel like that's important as well. And it's always a balancing act. It's always about doing all of these things in moderation and in balance with each other. That is our constant drive in life, is finding that balance. And then we have Dill. Clearing. It's connected to our brow chakra energy, and it's about clarity. It's about being clear on what is truth. The brow chakra is connected to truth. Feel as any external energy is cleared from you and your space. You are energetically pure and can focus on the task at hand. And I feel like that is connected to releasing the burden, nurturing yourself. Again, if you find that you're the type of person that is always doing for other people, putting that down. You know, taking the cape off and just flowing in your own space, expelling any energy that is not your own so that you can hear your own voice, so that you can be guided and directed by your own energies and your own path and your own purpose and your own skills and talents that are natural to you, not something that someone else says that you're good at or someone else puts you in a position to play a certain role. Be guided by your own voice, your own energy, your own intuition. And the only way to do that is by expelling any other energies that are not connected to and in alignment with your energies. All right, beautiful soul. These are the messages that I have channeled for you today. I hope this was helpful for you. If something did resonate, please do drop a comment down below and let me know it did. Click like and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you're not already connected here on YouTube. If you're interested in your own personal reading, you can connect with me on Etsy. Link is in the description. Thank you so much for your time and your energy, beautiful soul, and I will see you in an upcoming reading. Bye.